Precious Metal Summit 2017, ladies and gentlemen, Commodity TV here in Zurich. And with me here is now the famous Falco Resources with Vincent Metcalfe, the CFO of the company. And we spoke the last time with Vincent in January in Vancouver during the Cambridge House show. And now we want to get a lovely update. Vincent, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great to have you here. I think 2017 was a big year for you, for Falco, for Horn 5. You did, you finished your feasibility. Let's dive into that.
Yeah,
what are the main key numbers, I would call it?
Yeah, well, the last 2.5 years have been very, very busy for Falco. And as you said, I think it's important to remember where we've come from. We came from, January 2015, we had 0 drill holes in the asset. We did a confirmation study, we did a first resource, we did a PEA last year, we did a resource update following that, and now, as you just pointed out, we just completed the feasibility about 3-4 weeks ago now. So a big evolution over the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So now what we're looking at with the current numbers is about 15-year mine life. We're looking at about just under 220,000 ounces of production per year, but at a very low cash cost. So what people have to realize when they're looking at Horn 5 and the Falco story, it's that it's 67% gold, you've got some zinc, you've got some copper, and you've got some silver. So when you're looking at the all-in cash, because you have those other metals, you have a very, very low all-in sustaining cost.
It's like around below 400, right?
Yeah, 399 actually in the current market. And if you price it with spot metals, you're actually closer to 300. So a very, very good mine that will do money in a good base metal environment, but also in a good precious metal environment.
I think that's exactly the best case you want to have, I would call it.
Absolutely.
How much money does it cost?
Yeah, so it's going to be a big project. So it's going to be, as we said, 15-year mine life minimum, but we think it probably goes for another 20 to 25 years total. But it's going to be $800 million US to put it in production.
Yeah.
The good thing is we've got some very good relationships, given that we're in a Cisco group of company. So we'll go the traditional equity and debt route, but we also, the project is located in Quebec, so we have strong government support, which we're hoping to see some funding come over from there.
They are supporting that?
Yes, so they're already a shareholder of ours through the pension fund and the actual government arm, Investissement Québec. So we'll look to get additional capital from those groups, but we'll also look to maybe do a stream with the Cisco and potentially do some export credit agreements with either the Swedish government, the Swiss government, or even the Canadian government.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I think you will create like 500 long-term jobs, right?
Yeah,
I mean, so it's important for the region. That's taxes, that's jobs, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in construction, we're actually going to be higher than that. We're going to be 850, and in operation, we're going to be looking at 550 very well remunerated jobs for the long term.
Fantastic. You have, as far as I remember, 6.1 million ounces in reserves.
Yes.
Yeah? What are the resources, and where do you see the potential for the future? Because this is like an initial mine life, but maybe this mine can go another, 20, 30 years maybe.
Correct. So the first 15 years on those 6.1 million ounces of gold equivalent reserves, there's another 1 million ounces in the M&I category that could be added, and quite normally, I guess it will be easier to convert those into reserves once we're underground. But there's also another 21 million tons of material, which equates to another 1.7 million ounces of gold equivalent resources that could be converted from inferred over to M&I and potentially in reserves down the road, but you're looking at another 4 to 5 years just there of mining. So that's when we talk about starting from 15 and going to 25 to 30 years. That's where we see the inferred conversion and potential. And the main thing about the project right now is that the first 15 years of mining is between 600 meters and 2,000 meters, but there's a lot of potential below 2,000 meters. La Ronde, which is an operation close to ours, is actually producing at the moment at 3.1 kilometers below surface. So there is potential.
Exactly. Lots of room to go. And also what we maybe have to mention is once you are in production, you can drill from underground, which saves a lot of time and money, of course. And I mean, there are a lot of mines in the world which work like 50, 70 years, and they always had like 4 or 5 years of reserves, but keep it going, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. What are, let's say, the major milestones then you want to do in 2018? Because you have now one of the most important, but now still some work to go, right?
Yeah, so we still have one milestone to hit in 2017, which is completing the environmental impact assessment, which is very much advanced. So we see this being completed before the end of the year. Once we have that and the feasibility study, then we can start the permitting process. In Quebec, we normally look at 18 months of permitting. We think that's a feasible number for this project. So we'll be doing some public audiences. We'll be doing some consultation with the community and the different stakeholders. So that would bring the start of construction for spring 2019. So between now and then, it's really all about the financing and that's what we'll be working a lot in 2019.
Of course.
The great thing that we could do in Quebec is under the current exploration permit, we're able to start the dewatering. We're able to start refurbishing the shaft. So even though we won't be in full construction, there's a lot of things we can do in 2018.
And also, I mean, this is an old mine. So you have already a lot of infrastructure settings. You know where to go. You have shafts, etc. Yeah, maybe you have to rebuild some things, but you're not starting from scratch.
No, exactly.
And that's a big advantage, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, we have a 1.2 kilometer shaft that's flooded at the moment that we have to dewater, but it's a lot easier to dewater than to
build a new one.
Exactly. So from that perspective, it will give us some flexibility, and once it's dewatered, we'll do more drilling, more upside on that front.
Fantastic. Then all the best for 2018, and thanks for the update. And it really looks like that's the next big thing in Canada, I would say.
It's going to be a big mine, and I think that's one of the main things that we've seen with the investors. There's a flight to safer jurisdictions.
Absolutely,
There's been a lot of things going on in the world, and I think investors are now recognizing that being in Canada, yes, you will pay a premium for that safe jurisdiction, but mining is tough. And if you're able to take at least the geological or geopolitical risk aside, it's a big plus.
The country risk,
yes,
absolutely. No, I mean, what I really like with the project is that you have precious and base metals, and especially your base metals are the base metals of, let's say, e-mobility, of solar power. Those are all the things we need, and so they are in high demand, and they are in a supply deficit.
Absolutely.
And that's always good to have. Great. Vincent, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was Vincent Metcalfe, the CFO of Falco Resources, and you heard it, the feasibility is done, the numbers are here on the table, and with AIC costs below the $400 net of byproducts, this is really a phenomenal number. 800 million is the capex, but with the partners they have, like Osisko Mining and Osisko Gold Royalties, I think this is exactly what you want to have, what you need, and so there shouldn't be any problems to finance that big mine. And this is hopefully then the next big thing in Canada. 500 jobs are created. That's also important for the country. And I would say check it out. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Zurich.